Hello everyone, this is Supreme King, and today I'm bringing you my Ancient Gear deck profile. So yeah, just before I end the deck profile, this deck is incomplete because I'm missing 3 Ancient Gear fusions, which that card is $40 a card. So yeah, I'm not going to spend that much. I'm just going to wait for the reprint for that. So again, that's why this deck is incomplete, and again, I do apologize. I do not do proxies, so that's another thing I'd like to point out, but yeah, this deck is a lot of fun, and because it's fusion summoning, I love this deck obviously, and it's a very powerful deck too. Ever since I saw it in action in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, it got me in this deck there. So yeah, but yeah, so there's 60 cards in the main deck, 12 in the extra deck, and 15 in the side deck. So yeah, and I will go over the changes for when Ancient Gear Fusion does get a reprint, or when I do get it though. So I'll go over the changes from what for the cards I'll take out and put in there. So because normally I have 2 Ancient Gear Fusions in here, and then 1 in here. So anyway, let's get in the deck profile. And like I said, I'll get into it first, and I'll show you what cards I take out for this. So first I have 2 Ancient Gear Golems. This is like the deck's ace monster. So it's the main monster to use there. I just love this deck because, of course, it can do fusion summoning, and then, of course, when most Ancient Gear monsters attack, your opponent can't activate any spells or traps. 2 Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pounds. So basically another Ancient Gear Golem, though. So 2 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. This is another way to fusion summon, so of course gotta have those in there. 2 Ancient Gear Gadget, which basically can count as red gadget, yellow gadget, or green gadget, which is really good for this deck though, so then you don't have to put the other gadgets in there. So using these are fine. And I have 2 Ancient Gear Wyverns. This basically will search out any Ancient Gear card. So another really good card to have. 2 Ancient Gear Beast. 2 Ancient Gear Engineer. 2 Ancient Gear Soldier. 2 of Ancient Gear Cannon. 2 of Ancient Gear. 2 Ancient Gear Knight. 2 of Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon. Or one of the deck's more powerful monsters. And of course, depending on which gadget you use to tribute summon it, it gets those effects. I'm not going to read off all the cards effects because otherwise the video will take so long. I have 2 Ancient Gear Gadgetron Chimeras. Basically, Gadgetron Dragon, only 1 tribute. 2 of Ancient Gear Box. And another one of the deck's more stronger monsters, Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. 2 of Ancient Gear Hydra. 'And for the rest of the monsters, 2 of Ancient Gear Frame. So yeah, the reason I put 2 of each of the monsters here is because I want to give the deck variety. I don't want to have like 1s or 3s of cards. Mainly the ones I'll put 3s of are those that are required for fusion materials for the fusion monsters, like for example Ancient Gear Golem. So that's kind of why I do that. Of course, if you want to change the ratios on yours, you can, but these ratios have worked for me. So it's different for everybody. It's a personal preference thing. Anyway, onto the spells. I use 3 polymerizations. This is one of the cards I have at, like, with Ancient Gear Fusion. I actually have 2 in here. So I actually would have one of these in the side deck, 2 in here, because I'd have 2 Ancient Gear Fusions in the main deck, 1 in the side deck, so 3 polymerizations. But I'll just get to the rest of that when I go through the rest of the cards for the main deck, side deck, and extra deck. So 3 polymerization, that's basically how about bringing your fusion monsters, because there is 12 monsters. Got 3 of Power Bond. Again, this is another reason I love Ancient Gears, because you can just take out your opponent 1 turn, which is how I've done that a lot with this deck there. So, and Power Bond really helps out with that. So that's a good card. 2 of Overload Fusion. That helps out bring the Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. 1 of Limiter Removal. That's at 2, so you can use 2 in your deck if you want to. I just have 1 here for now. 1 of Gear Town, base of the field spell for the deck. 1 of Ancient Gear Castle. 1 of Ancient Gear Fortress. 1 of Ancient Gear Fist. 1 of Ancient Gear Tank. 1 Ancient Gear Catapult. 1 of Ancient Gear Workshop. 1 Ancient Gear Explosive. 1 of Ancient Gear Factory. 1 of Ancient Gear Drill. 1 of Spell Gear. Then I got 1 Monster Born, because that's at 1. 1 Gold Sarcophagus, which can search out anything you're looking for. 1 Burial from a Different Dimension to recycle the banished cards. And then for the traps, I got 1 Ancient Gear Reborn. 1 Cross-Dimensional Duel. And 1 Jar of Avarice. So that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck, which is pretty basic. I got 3 Ancient Gear, or Ultimate Ancient Gear Golems. So this is the deck's second strongest fusion monster. Then I got 3 Ancient Gear Howitzers. 3 Chaos Ancient Gear Giant, which is the deck's strongest monster. And last but not least, 3 of Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. So that's it for the extra deck. Onto the side deck, I got a 3rd Ancient Gear Golem in there, the 3rd Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound, a 3rd Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, because again those are the fusion materials and this helps you fusion summon. The 3rd Ancient Gear Gadget, because again you need to have the gadgets in there for the monsters that need to get their effects based off Tribune gadgets. And then the 3rd Ancient Gear Wyvern, which searches out any Ancient Gear card. I got the 2nd Limiter Removal in here, a 3rd Overload Fusion in here, and then 2nd Gear Town in here, Ancient Gear Catapult, Ancient Gear Fortress, Gold Sarcophagus, Burial from a Different Dimension, which that's at 3, so you could use 3 if you want to, Jar of Avarice, and then 2 Called Haunted. So that's it for the side deck there, and the changes are for the Ancient Gear Fusion, so I'll get to that right now. Which even and when it does get a reprint, I will bring an update to this deck profile when the card gets a reprint, when I do get a place of that. So the changes are for the main deck is -1 polymerization and 1 power bond, and then add 2 Ancient Gear Fusions. The polymerization and power bond that I subtract from here go into the side deck here, and then the cards I'm taking out of the side deck are the Ancient Gear Wyvern, the Limiter Removal, and the Cult Haunted. And then to add the 3rd Ancient Gear Fusion to there. So that's the changes that are being made. So that's just basically give you a bit of a heads up to what to expect to Well, when the card gets reprint, that's if it does though. But yeah, that's it for this deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and like I said, this is kind of a bit of more of an Ancient Gear budget deck profile because Ancient Gear Fusion is really pricey. So I hope you enjoyed this more budget version of the deck though. And like I said, when I do get my place of Ancient Gear Fusion tile, I will update this deck profile for you. And again, I'm sorry I didn't have the cards. It's like $40 a card, so and I need 3 of those. So yeah, that's gonna get priced there. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next deck profile, which will be Trickstars. And yeah, this deck's a lot of fun. You know, if you like machine monsters or you like fusion summoning, this deck's for you. So yeah, and this deck is very powerful, and you know, take out your opponent 1 turn, and also has quite the variety for it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. This is Supreme King signing off. Get your game on.